back to the Titanium Hangar. Today we're going to be doing a live action movie Transformers video.
Alright, so here we are with the Titanium Hangar. This is a video about these Transformer toys based off the movie. First thing I want to say, if you are super in love with the Transformer movie line toys, and I apologize in advance if I have anything negative to say. I have pluses and minuses to all of these toys, but obviously I'm a G1 collector, and I came across these garage sales or just a super cheap Craigslist listing or something along those lines. So, starting off, I just want to say that Michael Bay and Hasbro are both equally to blame for the design element flaws in all of these Transformers. Now, I'm going to start with one good point, that these movie Transformers are actually pretty good in their alt mode. So, meaning that they're the cars, the trucks, they look pretty good, you know, and I like Bumblebee, and I've got different size here. I got the Human Alliance, got it right along with the deluxe size, and should have pulled a few more out. Do have the first Camaro along with the concept Camaro, and I like the concept Camaro better, but the first Camaro has its charm, and it seems like that one just fell off the face of the earth. Probably should have included that one big time. As you can see, I pay anywhere from, like this guy here was like 10 cents at a garage sale, but some other ones were $1, maybe. I think the most I paid on a loose movie figure was $10 because I really like Sideswipe. Yeah, I had quite a few of these, but I sold most of them off for like 30 bucks a piece. So it shows that there is some value to movie Transformers if you get the right one. Looking underneath here, obviously this is a robot compacted underneath. A really nice looking car mode. I mean, I just love this Corvette. It's amazing. I think they did a pretty good job with the car mode. So looking over here, there's starting with the issues. These are ultra complex transformations. Now granted, this is some kid's collection I bought. I believe this guy's a leader class. I don't know his name or what he does or why he exists, but why things don't tab together. Maybe something's broken. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, because you sure can't be Hasbro or Michael Bay with their designs. Which brings me into who's more to blame for all this kind of nonsense. Is it Michael Bay? Is it Hasbro? And most people blame him, call them Bayformers, and I don't think that Michael Bay sat there with a pen and paper and said, this is what I want these all to look like, and this is how I want them to transform. I think that 90% of that was Hasbro, and Michael Bay put his own flair on it and said, hey, this is what we should change, this is how we should do it. And of course, some of that made it harder to transform. So they're both equally to blame. So once you transform to robot, well, this is the kind of nonsense you get out of it. Obviously, I didn't do it right, so it's my fault, of course. But, you know, with Gene 1, you get clean lines, you get smooth panels. With this, it looks like everything is organic in nature, and just, I'm not really sure what the look is they're going for. And so as a G1 collector, it kind of upsets me when you know that the guy making the live action movies wants to completely abandon every single thing that made Transformers, except for that they turn into cars and stuff. So that's the only thing that Transformers movie shares with G1. And that's disappointing, because I was really hoping that you'd at least get a handful of carryover characters that would represent themselves relatively well. Now, what I do like about these movie Transformers, and as you can see, I bought these new in the package, is that the Ironhide and the size, those look pretty good. The Optimus Prime, we've got a couple of Optimus Primes from different movies. I got a Bumblebee over here, and there was actually a Bumblebee I would have rather had was the bright gold one, and I ended up buying this one instead, and I didn't want to return this one, so I stuck with this one. Wish I'd have had the bright gold one more than that. These are some loose Optimus Primes here, and I just for fun threw it next to a Masks Rhino, just so you can see the size scale. When I have them displayed on my shelf, they are right next to each other. There's a Sentinel Prime. Couldn't quite dig out my box Sentinel Prime because he's way back there, but there's a loose one, and I dare not transform any of these due to the extreme complicated nature, and I don't want to break them or lose a part fall off or something. So there's just no fun for me in the transformation process on any of these movie ones. Here are the two different iterations of Megatron. So there's some action features with these guys. Again, I think I got these like $5 or $10 at a garage sale. I don't know if his batteries work or if he's supposed to have batteries. Again, I really don't know. We're talking 5 years down the road.
This is Ironhide, and these are his condoms.
So this Optimus Prime, if you push it again there, that's my favorite one that I've got, and I bought that one off the shelf new, and that was, oddly enough, that was $44 for that thing back in the day, and now you get leader classes for $40. So I think the leader class today is a really good deal, and you get something a little bit better product, in my opinion. But that's my favorite movie Prime. Then here's this one, and this is from the first one, so it's like a 10-decade-old. Batteries are starting to give out on that guy. And then looking down at these four, and I got all these at garage sales too. Just kind of you can see what he looks like in his alt mode there, and it looks good. Now, one of the things I want to talk about here with this alt mode is that this is really what I always envisioned Optimus Prime to look like. So the G1 Optimus Prime, the downside is I don't see diesels driving around the U.S. that look like a G1 Optimus Prime. So this looks like something that I would see on the road. And it makes a little bit more sense to me. And as a kid, it would make more sense to me. So I can understand, like, in this version of Prime, a little bit more than the other ones. But, you know, it's funny how they engineered that one Prime for Age of Extinction. I believe that was it. That looked like G1 in the cab mode. It looked like the robot mode looked like Movie. Alright, so I've got one of these new in the box. The batteries are dead. I've had to change the batteries in these guys, but I thought these were really cool because I've really always wanted a transforming. Let's see them transform again, Chris. I've really wanted an automatic transformer all my life. Now I've got a radio control one that I just think this looks so much cooler. And then you're going to have to wiggle that thing because of the cardboard. But these action elements that they had with this, I thought it was a really cool idea. You know, I never saw anything like that with G1. If they could do something like that with G1, that'd be awesome. But so there's some really cool things they've done with the toy line. I'm not going to completely write off the toy line because there are some cool things. Next, I want to discuss the Ultimate Bumblebee, and I'm going to move this guy over with the other ones. This Ultimate Bumblebee is gigantic. So when you've got the Human Alliance next to it, and then you have the Deluxe, the Ultimate destroys it. Now, I don't have an opened leader class, so the leader class will be somewhere in the middle of this. I really don't have a leader class car like this to scale. But just so you know, it's somewhere in the middle here. But that thing is huge. And its electronics, well, I spent 20 minutes transforming it. I'm never going to transform it again. I just have it because I have it, and I got it at a garage sale for like $5 or $10 or something. So, you know, it's one of those things I wasn't going to pay $70 on the shelf for. But it leads me into my last topic about these. Is the good thing is you can get movie Transformers at garage sales every weekend for like 10 cents, $1, $5, whatever. You can't go get a G1 toy at a garage sale just any old time. And basically, if you want to buy them, you're stuck on eBay with buying G1s. So that makes the movies Transformers a lot more fun to collect because you can get them for dirt cheap. Now that may change eventually in like another decade. But as for now, that's definitely a plus side to these guys.
Like and subscribe. If we get 50 subscribers, 50 subscribers, we'll do a Q&A. So when we're at 50, do some questions on our videos, and then we might answer them in our Q&A.